So this is Prison Shops. So the idea is it is a deck based around Mishra's Workshop, of course. Tap to add triple colorless, but you can only spend it to cast artifacts. So the idea is that you want either with Mishra's Workshop or some other combination of fast mana like Ancient Tomb and all the various cheap stuff that you have here, you are looking to lock the opponent out of the game with either Chalice of the Void, usually on 0, Null Rod to just shut off artifacts entirely, despite the fact that this deck is also filled with artifacts. Sphere of Resistance to make everything cost more. Thorn of Amethyst to make spells cost more. Or the turn 1 Trinisphere to also screw over the opponent. Additionally, if you manage to turbo out a Karn, then you have a one-sided Null Rod. Or you can win the long game by either having Wasteland, Strip Mine, or Ghost Quarter in combination with Crucible of Worlds to just keep recurring LD over and over every turn. Other stuff in the deck, you've got Needle and Phyrexian Revoker as ways of just shutting off specific cards. There is a Lodestone Golem for more stacks. There is Mystic Forge to be able to cast all of these things off the top of your deck. Phyrexian Metamorph, which is a copy of any of these things. And then on the very, very high end, at 5 mana, we've got Karn Silver Golem, which is a 4/4 that you can pay 1, target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness each equal to its mana value until end of turn. So, like Karn the Great Creator, you can use this ability to snipe all of your opponent's moxes and whatnot, or you can just use it to transform your own things into creatures that can attack your opponent. And then we also have Golos, which itself can, of course, fetch any of our lands, like Urza's Saga, Wasteland, etc. Other lands we've got Tabernacle, more stack stuff. We've got Tolarian Academy, because our whole deck is artifacts. Inventor's Fair, Karakas, 1 Bojuka Bog, and that's pretty much it for the land base. Outside of assembling all of our moxes, we don't have a way to actually activate Golos, but that's okay. Then in the sideboard, we have obviously a bunch of Karn grabbable cards. So the big one is Mycosynth Lattice to shut down our opponent's ability to activate any abilities, including lands. We also have Wormcoil Engine for creature-related matchups. We've got Argena Masticore. Obviously, even though we are playing Null Rod, we may run into situations where that's not good or where opponents just have like other things that shut off what it is that we're doing. And we do need a way to have some kind of removal in a basically almost all colorless deck, thus Argena Masticore. We've got another Tabernacle. We've got Relic of Progenitus and Graph Cage for Graveyard Hate, Mindbreak Trap for the Storm decks, and Snaring Bridge for more creature matchups, and Dismembers. That is Prison Shops. All right, we're on the play for round 1. Turn 1, Null Rod. Turn 2, Crucible Strip Mine. Seems good. Or Urza's Saga. All right, Workshop, tap, Null Rod. Instantly resolves. Urza's Saga. All right, Strip Mine. Blow that up. Tap, Crucible. All right, riveting gameplay. Just incredibly skill testing. All right, I don't know what my opponent's on. Something with Urza's Saga in it. All right, what do we got this time? Workshop, but with nothing really to do with it. Although we do have... Problem is our stuff's too expensive, right? We really, really need in this deck like a turn 1 play, right? So even though this hand has Workshop in it, I don't think I can keep this. All right, this is much better. Keep this and put back... So the Null Rod does conflict with the Sol Ring, although we can get it to the point where we don't need that anymore. The fact that I have to put something back, though, does make me want to just put back Null Rod. Also, we have Karn in our hand anyway. All right, I'll put back Null Rod. Ancient Tomb, Mana Crypt, the Ring. Well, this is going to be pretty... I guess if we can get Karn out fast enough, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. So I can do what? Man, they have 4 mana already, so the Sphere isn't even helping. So I can go Workshop, Sol Ring, and then if I play Sphere, I can't play Golos next turn. No, wait, I can just play Karn immediately, right? I go Workshop, Sol Ring, Karn? Yeah. So Workshop, Sol Ring, tap, Karn. Oh, wait, no, Karn's not an artifact. So I'm too many turns away from Karn. I probably just have to play Sphere of Resistance. Try to slow down what it is that they're doing. But with an active Ring and like us having no clock on them, this is a problem. 4 mana, play Grim Monolith, and then nothing else. All right, over to us. Ooh, we can copy the Ring. So tap this. We have to pay all the mana for this, right? So Phyrexian, Metamorph, and then pay the life. So copy Ring, trigger, draw a card, Mana Crypt. All right, I'm going to play that. So play Mana Crypt, and then let's play Bojuka Bog tapped and pass. All right, we can play Karn next turn and then shut off everything that they're doing. Or is this accept that? Plays Black Lotus. So they have a lot of mana. Coveted Jewel. All right. So what is in my sideboard right now that I can grab? Phyrexian Revoker. I can't name Saga with that, though. Mox Ruby. I can grab Lattice, but I don't think I can play it in the same turn. Mana Vault. I have this is for Karn, and then I've got 3 Mishra's Workshop mana left over. Time Walk. Yeah. Tinker. All right, so we're dead. We're just super dead now, right? Do note they're casting all of this through the Sphere of Resistance. It doesn't even matter. Well, they're taking a lot of damage too. So like even if they manage to get the Manifold Key, they do have to get rid of this ring. Plays an Opal. Plays a Sol Ring. 5 mana. Well, there's a new ring. Ancient Tomb. All right, we get a turn. We actually get a turn. Cool. All right, yield. Take damage. Mana Crypt. Lost the flip. Ooh, Mana Vault. All right, so tap this. It costs Sol Ring, and then we've got 5. That's Karn. And then we've got 4 left over after that, with which I can play... So I can Karn for something. Thorn of Amethyst? I don't know, because I'm shutting off all of their mana here, and then they can't tap the Ancient Tombs without taking damage. So they can tap the Ancient Tomb to make a Karnstruct. I guess let's see if Karn resolves first. Or let's draw first. So draw. See if we hit another land. Sphere of Resistance. All right, so tap this. Play Mana Vault. Then tap, cast Karn. All right, so 4 left over. All right, they're just going to concede to that, right? Yeah, okay. All right, we're on the draw. We've got Ancient Tomb into Sphere. That seems pretty good. Ancient Tomb into Sphere with Wastelands. We're against a Lurrus deck. All right, I'll keep. Urza's Saga with no follow-up. All right, so I feel like rather than Sphere of Resistance, which might get countered by Force of Will, it's better to just Wasteland this immediately. Because I want to Wasteland it regardless. So let's just get rid of this. Oh no, they got Lorien revealed. Yeah, Cycle Lorien revealed. All right. Cast Pearl, I suppose. Over to them. All right, Misty. Back to us. All right, let's play Sphere of Resistance. So Ancient Tomb, tap, Sphere of Resistance. Well, they got the Force of Will. Okay, pitching Intuition. So Misty, missed the spin. Which deck is this? This is Prison Shops. Lavinia. All right. Huh, Crucible. So I can play Crucible, get Wasteland back, and start... No, I can't cast Crucible because I don't have the lands to cast it through Lavinia. Ugh. I guess I can Wasteland and play Revoker, and then I don't know what in the world I name with it. What do they have in Jeskai Lurrus that I can name? Just like one of the artifacts? Mishra's Bauble. All right, tap this, cast Revoker. Yeah, all right, good as anything else. Mishra's Bauble. And then let's play Bojuka Bog tap. Target them. And back to their turn. And then if they attack with this Lavinia, I'll trade. Otherwise, Tundra. No attacks from them. All right, let's play Sol Ring. Their deck does not seem very dependent on artifacts, at least for now. So I'm probably siding Null Rod out next game. All right, I still can't actually cast Crucible until I get another land into play, right? So it won't allow me to, right? Yeah, okay, so play Wasteland, cast Crucible. I guess, no, I can't use Wasteland before I actually play this. So cast Crucible. All right, I'll stop on their upkeep and Wasteland their Volk. 3 mana. Intuition, sure. So I put 1 into their hand and the rest in their graveyard. Lotus Recall Gush. I would rather cut them off of mana, so let's put Gush in their hand. All right, Gush into their hand. Let's blow up Volcanic right now. All right, they can just Gush it. Well, at least it gets 2 lands off the board, right? It effectively accomplishes what I want. So it just leaves them with 2 mana from lands this turn. And now if they don't deal with Crucible, I can just keep Wastelanding them every turn after this. Island. Soul Guide. Oh, they can eat both the Wastelands out of our graveyard now? Uh-huh. I mean, they have to pop it immediately, right? They're main decking Soul Guide Lantern, which tells me they must have Urza Saga in their deck, because why else would you play this? Another Crucible. All right, so we don't do anything anymore. So if I'd played Null Rod last turn, I would have been able to prevent them from doing that. All right, just play another Crucible. All right, I can't until I play this land. Play a land, play another Crucible. I mean, I don't need this mana, but at the same time, I just feel like... All right, let's just run out Null Rod. I should have done that last turn, so let's do it now. Forcing it. Getting rid of Lorien revealed. All right, well, over to them. Plays Volk. Savin's Reclamation back Black Lotus. If I like playing Magic but hate playing on Arena, is it worth it to invest in Moto? How much does it cost you to rent these decks? For me, it costs $10 a week. You can have a high... It's based on how much you're renting at a time. So you can rent more or less. But for me, there's certain decks that I can't rent based on how much I'm paying. So if you really want to be able to rent most decks, it's probably more like 15 to 20 a week. There were decks that I wanted to play for this that I couldn't, and I had to change the deck list because of how much I can loan out at a time. All right, well, there's... I can't even play Lotus here because the Lavinia just counters it. So I guess we just pass. So I can flash this back and get back, what, Soul Guide, Solarian Academy. I put mostly Pioneer, so that doesn't sound too bad. I don't remember which Pioneer decks you couldn't access. Was Waste not one of them? I think you can rent all the Pioneer decks. They don't quite have the Breach Loop yet, right? They're missing Brain Freeze, but they can Intuition for it, and then, yeah, they can Intuition and put Brain Freeze in the graveyard or their hand. It doesn't matter which one. I guess if I put it in their graveyard, they have to eat Lotus and these cards in order to cast it in the first place. Yeah, Mox Sapphire, Brain Freeze, Lotus Petal. Oh, right, the rest go into their graveyard, so they have enough to do it. So put Lotus Petal in their hand, I guess. Yeah, and that's the loop, right? Because then they just Brain Freeze themselves, and then they can keep casting Lotus, and eventually they'll win. So they are Jeskai Lurrus. So I guess I want Grafdigger's Cage to stop their breach lines. It also stops them from casting stuff off of Lurrus, getting stuff back with... Well, it doesn't stop them from getting stuff back with Savin, but it does stop them from casting Savin, I guess. So these cards, and that's kind of it, right? Just those, and then Tabernacle's not good here. What else isn't good? I don't know whether the Null Rods are good or not. I feel like I probably don't need a bunch of these expensive things. Like, Karn just feels super mediocre. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of a Golos. All right, we've got Workshop, Ruby, Jet, and we can play turn 1 Lodestone Golem or Karn. That seems fantastic. All right, keep. Obviously, we get force checked, but you always do. All right, Jet, Ruby, Mishra's Workshop. I can't play Karn anyway, so let's tap here, cast Lodestone Golem. Over to them. Mox Jet. I don't know. Was I supposed to run out Thorn of Amethyst on turn 1? This feels like it hits everything but their mana. Urza Saga. And literally just Urza Saga can beat us. All right, I guess I can Karn them if they can't answer it, right? So, Ancient Tomb. Karn costs 5 right now. No, Karn costs 5, so I actually can't play him. All right, I guess I just run out... I guess Thorn and Null Rod, because the Null Rod shuts the Jet down, so they can't make a Karn Struck next turn. Yeah, so we'll go... Workshop. We got to play Thorn first to tax Force of Will if they drew it. So play Thorn, and then we can still play Null Rod after that. Yeah, they're forcing this, sure. Exiling Ledger Shredder. All right, cast Null Rod. All right, they concede, I think. No. All right, attack with Lodestone. So Artifact mana shut off, but that at least means they can't activate Urza Saga. Misty Rainforest. Pop. Volcanic. Ancestral Recall. Sure, but they still can't actually cast anything. Relic of Progenitus. All right, play that. I don't think I want to pop it. All right, I actually can't use it because of Null Rod. I forgot. All right, attack with Lodestone, but I should play it anyway. So Saga ticks up. They can't make a Construct. They can go fetch, like any artifact that they fetch, they can't activate. So it just has to be something where that doesn't matter. They fetch Black Lotus. All right, another Urza Saga. So they have 3 mana this turn, which means if they have a Braid or something, they can Abrade the Null Rod. Yep, Wear Tear the Null Rod, which unlocks these, but they still have to pay the tax on Lodestone. I'm still short on being able to play Karn. Right, target them with Relic. I'm probably just popping the Relic. All right, pop the Relic to draw. We drew Bojuka Bog. Well, I'm going to play it. So, Crucible, Bojuka Bog, and attack with the Lodestone Golem. So their Constructs are actually online now. End of turn Cyclorian. So on my turn, I can finally drop Karn, and then they either have to have a counterspell or they have to make a Construct in response. I don't know what I can get with it, though. Ensnaring Bridge. Puts Lurrus in their hand. So they're just abandoning the Saga activation. Plays Lurrus. Oh, they get Lotus back. All right. Well, it's got to be Karn. So play Karn. Sacks the Lotus. Makes a Construct. All right, the Karn resolves. Let's go fetch Ensnaring Bridge. Then cast Ensnaring Bridge. All right. This goes up. I mean, if they don't have an answer here, we just go get Lattice next turn and win the game. So I guess they can fetch Needle and name Karn, right? Make a Construct. Fetches Divining Top, which they can't activate. All right, well, replays the Lotus, which they also can't activate. So they have 1 mana floated, 1 mana available. Cycles Lorien revealed. Okay. Finds a Tundra. All right, minus Karn. Let's go get Mycosynth Lattice. Cast Mycosynth Lattice. All right, they can't activate any of their lands. What can they do? They have no mana. They can't force a Vigor. They're just dead, right? Tap this, play Revoker. They cannot do anything, right? Like, I'm not wrong. Revoker can't name lands, so I guess it doesn't matter what I name. Dauntless Dismantler, whatever. Not that they can even play it, but... All right, so they can't cast anything, not even forces, because all their spells are not blue anymore. They're all colorless. Yeah, all right. Sideboarding. That seemed correct. I don't really want Karn or Golos is really slow. Everything else seems like it's effective against them. Maybe Grafdigger's Cage is overdoing it. What does this stop? Lurrus can't cast spells from the graveyard. That's it. It just stops Lurrus. Let's put Golos back in the deck. Or Karn Silver Golem. Put Karn Silver Golem back in the deck. All right, we are on the draw this time. Okay, we've got Urza Saga, Mox Sapphire, Sphere of Resistance, and then we can't do anything after that. We also have Chalice on 0, which is not too relevant after turn 1 on the draw. His hand also loses to Wasteland. I guess I can Needle the Wasteland on turn 1, but then I'm not playing Sphere of Resistance. I'll keep this. Misty, Lotus Petal. All right. Ooh, Jet. That changes things a lot as well. All right, so Mox Sapphire, Jet, Urza Saga. So the first thing we do is play Chalice on 0. Then let's Needle. And they have to respond by fetching with Misty. Gets a Tundra. Cycles with Lorien. We're just going to name Wasteland. Wasteland. And then cast Sphere of Resistance. All right, everything costs more. They can't Wasteland our Saga. We can activate the Saga next turn. Plays the Volk. Cracks. They have Inti of all things. Huh. Well, I mean, we can still just, like, activate the Saga. So that seems fine. All right, let's just pass to them, and then if they attack, we just Saga. Plays Volcanic. Engineered Explosives for this, but it's still triggering the Chalice. Oh, because the Sphere they didn't pay correctly. All right, activate Saga, then untap, make another Construct. Then this triggers, and we get, let's go with just Soul Ring. Play Ancient Tomb. So I can tap out for Lodestone Golem and tax their spells even more. All right, play Lodestone. Then attack with this 9/9. Attacks with Inti. Discards Intuition, trigger. They exile another Inti. All right, we won. All right, we are on the draw for round 3. Okay, we have a ton of ramp into, like, stuff, so let's keep. They reveal Lurrus. Flooded Strand. Oh my god, Tolarian Academy. All right, we're going to play turn 1 Saga, so the only question is, I guess I can run out Null Rod and Sphere of Resistance, and then still have the mana left to activate the Saga. All right, so Saga, trigger, Sapphire, Mana Crypt. So then we float here, and we cast Null Rod, then Sphere of Resistance. Force of Negation, pitching Lorien. All right. Why in the world is Thorn of Amethyst restricted, but Sphere is it isn't? Because there's like decks like Initiative that can abuse Thorn more than they can Sphere. Opponent fetches Underground Sea, plays another Underground Sea. Dark Confidant. All right. So untap, this resolves here. Flip, we win the flip. Trigger. Tolarian Academy, so this is 3. So it's not enough to play. I don't have enough to play Revoker and make a Construct. So let's just pass. Bob trigger. Drew Ancestral Recall, which they're not casting. All right. Make a Construct. Ancestral Recall. This mana empties, then it's back to us. This resolves. We lose the flip. We're at 17. Trigger. All right. So mana, make a Construct. Then Saga goes and fetches something. All right, they didn't respond. Okay, I guess I Needle their Delta then. Hit the Needle, polluted Delta. All right, cast Revoker. I don't know what I name with it. I guess in the absence of knowing anything else in their deck, I'll just name Lorien Revealed. They're Force of Willing the Revoker. Pitching Mental Misstep. All right, so I guess I actually can cast Lotus even though I can't use it to just grow these guys. So cast Lotus, combat, attack. Bob trigger, reveals Time Twister. They're at 7. Strip Mine. They're not going to Strip Mine or Tolarian Academy. All right. Dress Down. Yep. All right. So we lose now. We have no clock. And they're going to take us off of Academy. Yep. Why didn't they attack if they had Dress Down? Do I just play this redundant Null Rod? I have to take 2 to do it. All right. Yeah, sure. Play a redundant Null Rod. Back to them. So we can't do anything. So we just have to, what? Hope that they die off their own Dark Confidant. Reveals another Dark Confidant. Wasteland. So they're attacking. We go to 10. Mana Crypt. We win the flip. Karn, which we can't play, so just back to them. So yeah, we just hope they die to their own Bob. Bowmasters. Okay, well, we're dying faster. Oh, they're going to kill their own Bob. All right, well, we lose the game now. So now they just have Orcish Bowmasters to attack with, and we're also potentially taking damage off this Mana Crypt, and we only have 1 mana. So for some reason, they decided to cast Time Twister and give us a new hand. Oh, right, because Bowmasters will kill us, right? Yeah. And we can't respond to that in any way because none of our stuff's instant speed. Yeah, all right, so we just die now. I mean, they have the same artifacts as everybody else, but they're not like dependent on them, although they also are running Tolarian Academy, which tells me they have like enough artifacts to where that's warranted. So, oh my god, I don't know. I guess Dismember. I guess, okay, so they have black removal, so Wurmcoil's probably good. Dismember to kill Bob, so they can't like get out of range of anything. Can Revoker even name anything? And even if it can, they just have Bowmasters, so it's like really bad to have this. What does that leave me with? I don't think I want this guy. That seems fine. Actually, Tabernacle doesn't seem that great. Let's change that for Relic. All right, we're on the plate. Okay, we have a turn 1 Lodestone Golem, and we've got Strip Mine Crucible and Sphere of Resistance. Seems good to me. Oh wait, no, we don't have a turn 1 Lodestone Golem. We have turn 1 Sphere. We're short on that. Okay, so we'll keep. So Mana Crypt, play this, play Sphere. All right, Sphere resolved. And then we've got repeatable Strip Mines next turn, presumably. Mox Ruby, sure. So Mana Crypt, lose the flip. Lotus, you say. Black Lotus. They do have 1 mana open for a Force. Although I imagine they would have just forced Sphere if they had it. All right, rather than Crucible, I think I'm just going to play Lodestone Golem this turn. I'm definitely Strip Mining them then. So I'll have 1 up. Yeah, okay, so. Although if I do that this turn, it means I can't play Crucible next turn. All right, Crucible, Strip Mine, blow this up, and back to them. Island. Plays Sol Ring. Well, they're doing a heck of a job keeping their mana up. Mana Vault. So play this. Mana, Vault. Lodestone costs 5. Let's just play that. Because we need to start clocking them because we're going to lose life off this Mana Crypt. So. And they're just keeping up with the Sphere of Resistance. Dismember the Lodestone. All right. Anti-Academy. How in the world are they just ignoring our taxing effect? Just completely ignoring it. Ugh, this is so rough. All right. Heads. We won. I mean, I have to kill T-Academy this turn, right? So don't pay this. We take damage. Null Rod, which we're definitely not... I mean, if I Null Rod, then they have no mana, but neither do we. And we can't really do anything. And then we'll just slowly die to our Mana Crypt. So let's blow up T-Academy. Then replay the Strip Mine. Then Strip Mine this Island. And then we can't play anything but Null Rod, which we're not going to play. So back to them. Wasteland. All right. Luris into their hand. So they didn't need to play Wasteland to do that. All right, well, we can't untap this. Mana Crypt, we lost the flip. Jesus, we're actually going to lose to Mana Crypt, aren't we? All right, play Strip Mine. Play Jet. All right, get rid of Wasteland. And then, welcome to the stream, Suraboro. Demonic Tutor. How in, like, just every turn, they just don't even care. They just keep casting stuff through our Sphere of Resistance. It's insane. At least we can untap our Mana Vault this turn, but Jesus Christ, we're just going to lose to Mana Crypt before we even kill them. All right, we're going to untap the Mana Vault. Heads. We won. Draw. Strip Mine. Strip Mine your land. Back to them. Black Lotus. And now that allows them to play Luris and then get the Lotus back. This Sphere of Resistance has actually just been completely worthless. They've just cast everything through it anyway. And they are drawing, and they have had to land every single turn to get through Strip Mine. All right. Heads. Lose the flip. Dead in 2 turns. Wormcoil. We can play Wormcoil. All right. Play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can Strip Mine this, and then they have to not have a counterspell. So, right, I'm not miscounting. I have 7 mana. Strip Mine your Underground Sea. All right, tap, 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 tap. Cast Wormcoil. They have, unbelievably, oh my god, they have Forcible. Yeah, okay, we're dead. I mean, I guess we're not technically dead. We could win the flip on Mana Crypt, but then I don't even know what we can play after that to not lose. Oh, they have Time Walk. All right, we lose. Round 4, we're on the draw. Okay, we have a turn 1 Null Rod, although, So we can go turn 1, like, Inventor Sphere, Sol Ring, Mox Emerald, and then Null Rod, and then shut off our own mana production, which seems really bad, because we've got nothing to follow it up with. Yeah, this hand seems not great. Let's mull. Okay, Ancient Tomb Sphere, Mox Ruby, or we just play turn 2 Karn. This seems much better. So let's put a Wasteland back. Urza Saga. All right, we're probably just Wastelanding that. Mox Pearl. Mana Crypt. Jesus Christ. All right, well, apparently Null Rod would have been a good keep. Yeah, I have to Wasteland this, right? So, Wasteland your Saga. Play a Ruby. Go. So, they're untapping with 6 mana. They have another Saga. All right. Okay, we can play Karn. Play this. Tap this. Play Sol Ring. Tap, tap. Karn. You also have Force of Will on top of all of that? Okay. In your mono brown, all the artifact ramp deck, you also are playing Force of Will. Sure. Damn, they're good. Yeah, like, gotta hand it to our opponent. They sure know how to randomly have all the best cards in their hand all at once. Workshop. So we just lose to Urza Saga. What can I even do? I can play Golos, and what do I get with it? I don't know. Wasteland comes in tap, so it doesn't blow this up. Would they pitch? Another Force of Will. All right, Golos. Trigger. I don't think I can even get anything good with this, right? Karakas is irrelevant. I mean, I guess I can bounce Golos and keep playing it again, but they're going to make 2 Karnstructs. I can get Talarian Academy to make a bunch of mana. I can get my own Urza Saga, which will take a turn to get going. I guess I play my own Urza Saga. Yeah, okay. Urza Saga. And then let's play Tabernacle and go. So 2 Karnstructs, which will be 5/5s, 6/6s. So they pay to keep their Karnstruct around, then Mana Crypt, they won the flip. And Saga ticks up. Make another Karnstruct. Sensei's Divining top. All right. Ancient Tomb. Spins top. Now, how much mana do I have on my turn? 2, 3, 5. Pay 1 to keep Golos. Then I want 2 to make a Karnstruct. They drew at the top, so whatever's on top of their deck has to be really good for them to want to get it right now. A Metamorph. Another Karnstruct. Then they attack. So untap, pay for Golos, and then what? And then make a Karnstruct, and then I only have 2 left over, and I can't Metamorph. I mean, I'm just going to lose anyway, right? So another Golos doesn't get me out of this, therefore I should block. Yeah, because I'm not going to pay for it. Or rather, I don't think paying for it does anything. All right, we have a Mox, so Saga ticks up. We play Emerald. So I can make a Karnstruct, Metamorph, make a Karnstruct. Then I'm at 14. No, I'll be at 12 because I'll have to tap Ancient Tomb. And then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts, none of which can successfully block any of their Karnstruct tokens. So Karnstruct, and then I unfortunately have to Tomb, tap, Metamorph, copy a Karnstruct. I'm actually at 12 and I can't double block. I have to single block. Okay, yeah, whatever. We're dead. I mean, to be fair, I didn't know I was going to draw Mox. So, all right, they're an Urza Saga, all the artifacts deck with Force of Wills. So they're probably Paradox, which means Tabernacle's garbage, from Coils, whatever. Considering how many artifacts they have in their deck, I think that makes Lodestone Golem not good. So then that means the only cards that I care to board in are probably Mindbreak Trap. Yeah, it's like that or Wormcoil. I don't know. If they're ever at the point of outcoming, I feel like they have a million mana anyway. All right, let's bring in Mindbreak. Is there any other card I can board out for the last Mindbreak Trap? I don't think so. All right, let's just run that. Turn 1, Null Rod or Amethyst. I guess Null Rod, right? Turn 1, Null Rod. All right, that works. Keep. So Ancient Tomb, tap, Null Rod. Opponent has the Force of Will. All right. Force, pitching, Force. Mox Emerald. Urza Saga. And their Saga's online before ours is. I guess I could Needle the Saga, and then neither of us get it. Trigger. I could also Revoker their Emerald, and then they don't have the mana to do it next turn. I'm also playing Needle this turn, so what am I needling instead then? Probably just Needle the Saga, it's fine. No, because then it turns our Saga off. So I Revoker, name Emerald. I guess I'll see if this resolves first. So Revoker. All right, Mox, Emerald. The reason I don't want to do both is because then we're just left with kind of nothing to go on instead of being able to Saga ourselves next turn. What do I need to name if I'm not naming Saga? Probably Wasteland. All right, Needle, Wasteland. So their Saga ticks up to 2. So unless they have like Ancient Tomb or something, they're not going to be able to make a Karnstruct this turn. Okay, well they have Ancient Tomb. Fuck me. All right. This ticks up, Workshop. So if I play Mystic Forge this turn, then I can't make a Karnstruct. But if I just play like Sphere or Thorn, then I can't play the Mystic Forge next. I guess I can still play it next turn, right? All right, let's Sphere. Then we'll fizzle this, and back to them. I'm not going to attack with Revoker. Like, I doubt they would block it, but let's just not even give them the option to do that. Yep, make a Karnstruct. Trigger on the stack. Yeah, make a Karnstruct. Then we have to make a Karnstruct before they fetch, so that they can't fetch Needle on our thing. So their Karnstructs will be 4/4s. My Karnstruct is a 4/4. And what are they getting? They are grabbing Needle. So they could just name Saga so that we can't do it again. Yeah, they name Saga. Sure. Mishra's Workshop into Lotus, but then they have no follow-up. But then their Karnstruct's a 5/5. Alright, yeah, we take it. I guess I can make my Karnstruct hypothetically bigger than theirs, so there's no reason to block right now. So our turn, float. We drew Golos. So resolve this. So if I grab Soul Ring, that's 5. I still have to pay for Ancient Tomb through the Golos. So then I get a Golos, and then what land am I getting off of that? Another Mishra's Workshop, Inventor's Fair, so we can gain some life back. Yeah, all right, Soul Ring. So then oh no, I don't have to tap Tomb. Play Golos. So trigger. I could also grab Talarian Academy, just to have a bajillion mana. Yeah, that actually seems better, because then we can play Mystic Forge next turn and just go ham. All right, grab T Academy. And I could play Thorn of Amethyst here, and if I do, that means if they play one more artifact, we can still block their guy. But it also means if I do that, I can't take a hit from one of these things. I'm probably going to have to throw Revoker in front of a dude anyway. Oh, wait, no, I can't play Thorn because of a Sphere. Yeah, never mind. All right, I guess I just pass back to them then. Any 2 artifacts means we can no longer profitably block them. Even just 1 artifact means we have to trade. Another Mishra's Workshop. Paying 8, or at least tapping for 8. Coveted Jewel, They're paying life, so it's a Metamorph, which will either be another Jewel or another Construct. It's another Construct. So if they swing, they shut off Ancient Tomb. No, they didn't swing? That can't be right. They must have accidentally clicked through their combat step. Karn's an amazing draw, but does it get us out of this? I guess it does if we find Ensnaring Bridge. All right, so it's 5 mana to cast Mystic Forge, and then I have Tolarian Academy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus Ancient Tomb. All right, so tap this Forge. Tolarian 7 mana. 5 of that pays for Karn, and then we've got 2 plus Ancient Tomb left over to cast Ensnaring Bridge. All right, tap this. Actually, if I do it the other way, what if I just grab Lattice? Well, I can't grab Lattice because then these Constructs are still beating me in. Yeah, so I need to play this first. All right, cast Forge. Top card's Null Rod. All right, Academy, cast Karn. All right, Karn resolved. Minus grabbing Ensnaring Bridge. Tap, cast Ensnaring Bridge. Alrighty then. So none of their artifacts tap for any mana anymore, and they can't attack. So they have 8 left off of the Workshops and Ancient Tomb. They drew Tolarian Academy. 3/7. All right. Grim Monolith. Sure. 8 mana. 10 mana. Plays their own Karn. Well, that being the case, I don't want to draw Null Rod, so they can actually grab and cast Lattice here, and then we're dead. All right. Forge. Exile the Null Rod off the top. Yeah. Well, this is just some absolute horse shit. So you're telling me they drew Tolarian Academy off the top and then had Karn to follow it up. Jesus fucking Christ. So they grab Lattice, then we can't activate anything anymore, including Karn, and then eventually we'll just draw, so then we can't play anything, so then eventually we'll just draw enough non-lands that will get unlock the bridge, I guess. I guess these are so huge that they can't attack us, but they can keep activating their own Karn, so they'll just keep finding things with it. I can't even cast anything because Sphere of Resistance prevents me from paying for anything. So, can't attack, can't activate anything, but their Karn is live. So now they just find something. They probably have Argenum Masticore in their sideboard or whatever, and then they can just play that and then blow up the bridge and win. Wait, so, hang on. Never mind. So we have a Karn on our board. Okay, hang on. So, nobody can activate anything. So it's not one-sided. They actually can't activate anything. So nobody can do anything, and we have 45 cards in our deck, and they have 43 cards in their deck. Okay. So we just keep passing to them? Why did they do this? Yeah, no one can do anything, and they'll deck before we do. Amazing. Urza Saga. That technically goes and finds something. Not that whatever they can play matters. Okay, Saga ticks up. So they can fetch an artifact that can't be activated. So they can fetch a 1 or 0 mana artifact that has some kind of effect that doesn't involve being activated, which is nothing relevant as far as I can think. They grabbed a Manifold Key. All right, sure. Cleanup step for them. Yeah, why are they still playing? Okay, they have conceded after wasting our time for like 10 turns. I don't know what the point of that was, opponent. So I feel like it has to be either Mindbreak or Wormcoil, right? Like that has to be, it's the pick between those two for this slot here. All right, I'll just keep it like this. All right, we're on the draw. We've got turn 1 Sphere of Resistance or / Null Rod, or just get Saga going. So keep. Also got a Mindbreak trap if they try to like triple spell into something. Urza Saga. All right, I feel like the best move is to just Wasteland them. So let's go Jet, Sol Ring, Sphere of Resistance, Force of Negation, pitching PO. All right, Wasteland, kill this. And then we can get our Urza Sagas online, which outraces their. So the problem with like just playing my own Urza Saga there is that their Urza Saga outraces my Urza Saga if they have an Ancient Tomb or like Mana Rocks or something. All right, Urza Saga, trigger. Can't play Null Rod here, so back to them. Mox Sapphire, Ancestral Recall. That's spell number 2. Black Lotus. I'm not countering this until they play like Karn or something. Ancient Tomb. A bunch of mana. Cast the Ring. All right, counter that. Pithing Needle. Well, there goes Urza Saga. So now we play Golos and get something. I don't know. Ooh, never mind. We're playing Karn. So Saga. Tap, tap, tap. Play Karn. Force of Will. Why didn't they force my Mindbreak trap? Oh well, whatever. Back to them. Mana Vault. Okay, so trigger. So we float one here. All right, so Needle does basically nothing in this board position, so I can cast Golos and get something. Also, if I Null Rod here, it makes them only have access to this mana and none of this mana. But this is still enough mana to do whatever they want. I guess I could Golos for Wasteland and blow up Mishra's Workshop and then Null Rod. I already have Soul Ring. I don't want to grab Mana Crypt or Lotus or Vault. I don't want to grab anything that's like a detriment. So I guess let's just grab Sapphire. I don't think it really matters. I guess on the off chance that I draw every single color, I should diversify the colors. Golos. So Golos trigger. I guess I could grab Karakas and then keep bouncing and playing Golos over and over. Alternatively, I can grab Inventor's Fair and then Inventor's Fair for something. What? Mystic Forge? Karn? Silver Golem? Is this sorcery speed activation? No, it's not. Okay. The less time waiting, the better. So let's grab Inventor's Fair. All right, we're there in top deck mode, so hopefully things go all right. Grim Monolith. All right, off this. Float. Okay, what am I grabbing with Inventor's Fair? If I grab Karn, I can kill these two. I can kill Sapphire Lotus. They still have 1,000,000 mana, even if I do that. So the best bet's probably Mystic Forge and just start drawing as fast as possible. So that being the case, I want more sustainable mana. So let's just grab Mana Crypt. All right, so activate Fair. So do I have enough to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't do it in one turn. Well, since I can't do it in one turn anyway, let's just attack them and be done with it. Adrian Metamorph, so I assume they're going to copy Golos. Tolarian Academy, sure. So activate this. Yeah, Mystic Forge. Then untap. Then Mana Crypt trigger. So heads. We lose the flip. That's fine. Tap this, cast Forge. Top card is Ghost Quarter. Get rid of that. Top card's Ancient Tomb. Cast Lotus. All right, over to them. We can at least use the Lotus to hard cast Mindbreak Trap if they draw anything. Grim Monolith. Yeah, that's fine. Upkeep, Mana Crypt trigger, heads. We lost the flip. We draw Ancient Tomb. Casting Thorn's really awkward, but it's actually bad for us to cast Thorn here. Just get rid of that. They have a bajillion mana. Sphere of Resist. Even if I cast it, I still have a bunch of mana left over. All right, let's cast it. Golos off the top. So this Golos is 6 mana. 1. Now I'll just hold up Mindbreak Trap. All right, Mana Crypt trigger. This is a rough Mana Crypt here. Null Rod. Well, I'm not casting that. Oh my god, are we actually going to lose to damage off this freaking Mana Crypt? This is just nuts. All right, tap this, tap this, tap this, tap this. I can still technically cast Mindbreak Trap, so let's cast Golos. Trigger the Golos, use his ability. What can I grab here? I guess T Academy gets me a ton of mana. Let's just do that. Top card is Crucible, which we can play right now, but we won't. So just pass to them. Another Mishra's Workshop, which they didn't play last turn, so they still don't have anything, presumably. Oh, Mana Crypt trigger. Stop hurting us. We won the flip. Cool. All right. Tap this. Cast Mox Ruby. Mana Vault. Tap this. Cast Mana Vault. Well, there's Crucible off the top. So Tolarian Academy, Crucible. They just have Force of Will or something. Force Negation. Yeah, that's fine. Play Crucible. Get back Wasteland. Oh, I know. I'm naming... No one's naming Wasteland. All right. So Wasteland. Blow up their T Academy. And then... If I just play Null Rod here, I still have 10,000,000 mana off of Tolarian Academy, right? It just puts them in a really bad position. All right, play Null Rod. I guess I could have played this other Null Rod first. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, we win. I look forward to rewatching that second game on YouTube. Yeah, by the way, for all the people who are like, how come you didn't realize that the Lattice locked both of them? It's past midnight here. Final match, we are on the play. We've got turn 1, we can Null Rod and then have nothing else to do. That seems bad. So we're entirely at the mercy of whatever we draw. Okay, let's just mull this. This is a turn 1 Sphere of Resistance / Thorn of Amethyst. All right, it's mana for, we can't play both, but we can play Phyrexian Revoker and then Sphere. Or I can wait a turn and play Golos. I'll put back Phyrexian Revoker? I don't even know what I'm naming, right? So yeah, put that back. Saga, trigger, Vault, plate, Pearl. And then I would rather wait. Opponent plays their own Urza Saga, Grindstone, Black Lotus. Okay, well, is this actually Painter? If it is, the only way we don't die next turn is, if they have it, is Trinisphere. I mean, if they had it, they would have just done it immediately, right? So let's... Oh, wait, no, because this costs 3 to activate. All right, let's just Golos this turn. Trigger, let's go grab... So they get to untap with this, but the only mana source they have for it is Lotus. So let's go grab Tolarian Academy. The problem is we just don't have a follow-up to this, right? Yeah, all right, grab T Academy. Pass. Bloodstained Mire. Okay, they do actually have Painter. Well, we're dead. Oh well, if I'd played Trinisphere, we wouldn't have lost, but then we could have just lost to Urza Saga. I don't know. They had it. All right, Painter. I guess Dismember kills Painter at instant speed. That's the only thing I can think that matters. Take out Lodestone. Take out Karn. Actually, does Chalice of the Void matter? Maybe. Tabernacle probably doesn't matter. All right, Karn back in. All right, we got turn 1 Null Rod. Seems good. And Sphere of Resistance. So let's keep. Play Chalice for 0. Play this. Tap this. Cast Sphere of Resistance. Over to them. So obviously we don't have anything going on actually in our hand, but we do have like a bunch of hate pieces for their deck. All right, another Workshop, and let's play Null Rod. Second, Bloodstained Mire. Fetch. Gets a Badlands. Fetch. Volcanic. Voltaic Key, which they can't activate, so okay, sure. Another Sphere of Resistance. All right, let's just Wasteland. I have to save Wasteland for Saga. I guess I don't have to because I have double Ghost Quarter. Let's just Wasteland their Volcanic to take them off blue. So blow that up. Then tap this for another Sphere. And back to them. All right, they got nothing. So if I play Urza Saga, I actually can't use the Workshops to tap for it. So I have to play Ghost Quarter first. So Ghost Quarter over to them. All right, they got nothing. Back to us. Clean up, discards Pearl. All right, I can play Karn. It's pretty good. So Saga. And then Karn costs 7 right now. So back to them. I mean, I think we're just going to kill them. Like, we make a Karnstruct next turn, and then and the Karnstructs are huge. What's this deck? It is Prison Shops. Yeah, they just can't do anything. Saga goes up. Play Ghost Quarter. Tap this for Monovault. Combat. Attack with Karn. Plays their own Urza Saga. Make a Karnstruct. Yeah, all right, they're conceding. Same thing, run it back. All right, we got a turn 1 Trinisphere into like other good stuff, so that seems good to me. Keep Leyline of the Void. What? Why did they board that in? Oh, because it just kills us with Grindstone. Gotcha. Grindstone. Well, we kind of have to Wasteland this Urza Saga. Because if they just like untap and play Ancient Tomb, then we're losing to these Karnstructs. So yeah, let's just kill that. All right. They do not have a follow-up. Interesting. All right. Workshop, cast Trinisphere. So they just can't cast anything. Back to us. All right. Let's go Workshop and play Golos. Trigger. Let's grab Tolarian. They finally found a land, but they can't do anything with it. So back to us. All right, tap, tap, play Mystic Forge. Top card is Revoker. All right, Ancient Tomb, tap, cast Revoker. Meant to spend the artifact mana. All right, I'm not going to name Grindstone. So how much mana do I have left? So 5. What do I need to name? Force of Vigor? I doubt they have Force of Vigor. They could, though. Force of Will? Force of Negation? All right. Oh, what am I naming? It's activated abilities. It's past midnight. I mean, I guess I'll just name Grindstone, whatever. Even though I'm about to play Karn anyway. So, Tolarian, it's Karn. All right, I can just Lattice them next turn. So, let's grab Lattice. Attack. All right, I really don't know why they're continuing here. Like, Trinisphere just completely shuts down anything they could do. All right, we have won the match. We finally 4-1'd with a deck. So, Prison Shops, this is the first deck that I actually feel is, like, pretty solid and doesn't have any big glaring weaknesses other than... so I don't like Karn Silver Golem at all. Like, his ability to just pick off random 0-drop rocks is just not worth how expensive he is. So he seems pretty bad. But other than that, I think the rest of it's probably fine. Although I wish that... So I don't know how much you need Golos as well. Like, that's the other iffy card, right? I especially don't know how much you need 3 Goloses. So I find the selection of all of these 4 cards on the top end here kind of dubious. But beyond that, I feel like it's a solid deck. It feels like the first deck that actually has like a good game plan, although obviously there's weird things that conflict with each other. Like, you're running the 4 Null Rods, but then there's so many Mono Rocks in the deck also, and sometimes you just can't afford to do both. But otherwise, I like it. And with that, that's going to be the end of the Vintage Marathon. So the only 2 decks, I mean, there's technically like a whole host of different decks we could have played. The only other 2 decks I had on the list was Jeskai Control or Jeskai Lurrus, which is this deck, as shown here, with these cards. And then it's basically just feels like more blue soup that we've played before, except this time it's in the Jeskai colors with like Ragavan and stuff. And then Sultai Midrange, again, more blue soup, except this time we've got Deathrite Shaman and some other green stuff like Collect Roof. But as far as it goes, those decks feel kind of similar to everything we've played already. And the bigger issue beyond that, though, is just I can't take this anymore. This is... So, caveats, because I can already hear my detractors in the comments. Obviously, I did not know Vintage very well, like at all. most of the time I didn't know how to sideboard properly. There was lots of times when I just didn't know what to name with Needle or Revoker, or I didn't know like the right cards to sideboard. I didn't know to what degree you needed to like have Wasteland open versus what you can spend it on, etc., etc., etc. And there were also many times where I just flat out made mistakes regardless of format knowledge. That being said, this is by far the worst format in the game. I can't believe it's even worse than Modern. I did not think a format could be worse than Modern, but here we go. It feels like almost pure gambling, where sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do at all. You can just die on turn one. And the reputation that Legacy has as a combo turn one win format, which I think is undeserved, is actually true of this format. This format is just turn one combos that you can't beat, all the fast mana in the universe. Sometimes your opponent has like their combo with force backup and then you just can't do anything. There's so much more comboing than there is any sort of like fair decks, in quotes, in the format. Everything is either a workshop deck that's just like blasting Trinispheres into play, or it's an initiative deck blasting initiative garbage and stacks into play, or it's a combo deck that's either using like Tinker or Oath or whatever. And then there are some not a combo decks, but every deck is still doing some kind of bullshit involving fast mana and getting like Bowmasters or Leovold or whatever down as fast as possible. It's absolutely miserable. It feels like you're just playing a randomized slot machine and you have almost no agency over what you're doing. The turns, you can just lose games out of nowhere with no real ability to have done anything. There also seems to be a wide disparity in how good the decks are. Like the Bazaar decks, to me, felt awful versus, and like the different types of blue decks also vastly varied in how good they were. Even though a lot of them kind of feel the same, like they're all the same blue soup with Recall and Treasure Cruise and probably playing Tinker a lot of the time. It also feels to me like if you're not tinkering for Bolas' Citadel, then why aren't you just playing Lurrus? Like if you can play Lurrus, why wouldn't you? So many decks just get shut down by one single card. So like if you're on the Show and Tell Oath plan, Containment Priest, you just lose unless you can deal with the Priest. Like so many of the matches just come down to your opponent plays one stacks piece and then you can't win the game anymore until you deal with it. And if you don't draw your one of like anywhere between 1 and 4 removal spells that you have in your deck to that stacks piece, then you're just dead. Or your opponent just snowballs out of control. Urza Saga is its absolute most miserable here. It's miserable everywhere that it's played, but it's particularly bad here where there's so much more fast mana and where the Null Rod effects do not stop you from activating the Saga. So many games also come down to Wastelanding and Strip Mining. It's, again, even worse than Legacy because now Urza Saga is everywhere, as are tons of fast lands like Mishra's Workshop and Bazaar, which means that every single deck is playing for Wasteland and Strip Mine. Plus, you have so much like color fixing with your rocks and so many powerful colorless spells that you can afford to play all these Wastelands. So tons of games come down to mana denial. It's just absolutely awful. It feels like you would have more fun playing like Cookie Clicker or just random bullshit, like gambling with zero choices involved, because that's pretty much what the format is. And I think you can probably see that evidence in just the queue times. Like we had one queue time that went for 11 minutes before we were able to find a match. And it is by far as I can tell from the leagues, the least played of any of the formats. Now, even though the decks actually are cheaper on average than Modern and Legacy decks on Moto. Now you can say, well, but they're so much more expensive in paper, so then paper players are not translating onto Moto, but I don't know how true that actually is. It feels like, if anything, if the format were good, this should generate more hype for Moto since it's so inaccessible in paper. But it's the opposite. There's sub 150 active users on here at any time, and thus the incredibly long queue times. And that's another thing. When I was going and editing some of the previous videos, I was seeing huge disparities in the amount of time that the stream took versus how much time the video was once edited. Sometimes it would be 2 hours cut down to 30 minutes, which a lot of that has to do with just how long the queue times are. But as far as the remainder, if you were looking forward to Jeskai Lurrus or Sultai Mid, I'm sorry, I just can't take it anymore. I don't want to subject myself to this anymore. And I feel like having played Prison Shops now, I've basically covered all the archetypes. That's Shops, Bazaar decks, Initiative, and then Blue Soup. So that's going to do it for me. If you did watch these vintage streams and enjoy them, I'm glad you did. And if you didn't enjoy them, well, I'm glad, I guess, that you stuck around this long to hear this talk at the end. And that'll be the end of the Vintage Marathon. See you next time.